that's excellent to hear. Well, today I decided to I got a recommendation to do an interview with you, Draco, and occasionally, surprisingly, Super Sprite. And apparently, you're the last one that came along.
Yeah. When I heard that the other two were doing it, I decided, why not?
I have nothing in my hands at that moment. I was just gonna try to get into contact with Super Sprite, but surprisingly, he parted ways with Song 93.
Yeah. Honestly, it was thanks to my influence that he was able to do that. Because he saw what was happening to me and Draco, and he knew that it wasn't right. Like, even when, like, she blocked me, like, he was like, come on, let's give Mene another chance, because, like, he genuinely is a nice guy, and she's like, no, if he thinks that I'm a bad person, then he deserves to be blocked. Like, that's basically her mindset.
Well, we'll get into Song 93 for a little bit, but let us talk about the origin story first.
You mean how I met her?
Yes, the origin story of how you and Song 93 met.
Okay, so we met from Dumbsville. If you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Dumbsville, and basically, when I saw the death of Sonic 93 and the resurrection of Sonic 93, I'm like, huh, well, this person seemed like a bad person, but I guess they're not that bad now. So I decided to comment on her video, and then ever since then, we sort of just became friends. Then I drew fan art for her and posted on YouTube, sent her the link, and then I got Discord, and then we became friends.
Okay. Just to be precise, did she had Discord before?
According to, I didn't know at the time, but basically when we first became friends, like the day we met, she did. So I assume.
Okay, so it's only from the time that you two met.
Yeah, which was 1 year ago.
Okay. So, when it came to Song 93's melody problem, what was the reason that she revived this dilemma of hers a year later?
Honestly, I think it had to do with something with holding grudges with people and our influence, because me and Sprite, we kind of influenced her into doing it in a way. Like, we were like, maybe if we made a video discussing how you were kind of wrongly accused in a calm matter, we might be able to prove that you weren't that bad after all. And it seemed like a good idea at first. When we first made the melody video, we first got positive reception, because we were kind of expecting negative reception immediately, but then all things fell downhill the second she did the Alduin video.
When I saw the first video, which is the mainly focused on Melodysugarplum, there are some things that I was confused, and there are some things that I were having suspicion. So it seems that I believe that something went wrong with Melodysugarplum. Well, I think that she did prove that Melodysugarplum is like a horrible person now. It's still, but here's the issue that I have with it, is that she is using that as a panacea to solve her old problems.
Yeah, I understand that now, because like at the time we were just like thinking like basically, I think the reason she had that mentality that she was right all along is because somebody said that she was right all along. Like, basically, I don't know if she had it in the video, but basically she showed me a comment saying how someone was saying, oh my god, Son 93 was right all along. Melody is a horrible person this entire time. And basically, ever since that, she kind of clicked that she was in the right no matter what.
I think that something that should not be taken that much of an extreme, given the fact that it has been a year since that first drama happened.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, Sonic 93 grudges kind of blinded her sight, in the sense that no matter what, she like, even when she got over the drama, or in this case, the drama died out, she still believed she was in the right.
Well, we did try telling her that she was not in the right.
And we all know how that went.
Yes. Ended up deleting her channel, fortunately.
Yep.
It seems that during that time when Melodysugarplum, she got a little bit of backlash, but not as much as, because in the end, if she would have just made that one video, then it would have been okay at best.
Yeah, like if she, yeah, honestly, her bias really started to shine the second she did that Alduin video. Like when we first made the Melody video, everyone was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" Nobody was thinking about her reviving dead drama. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, she's redeeming herself. She's calling out Melody the entire time. She's actually making some points." Like that's pretty much how everyone's thought until she made the Alduin video and was like, "Oh, now we know why she's doing this."
Yes, because in the first video, it's all about basically redemption, at least in the very end of the video, where she actually, you know, starts making good points about Melody's behavior at the time. However,
yeah,
when the Alduin video came along, I was expecting something like this since she said it in the video. However, I was not expecting it to be that bad. I mean,
yeah,
to a level where like it even took focus on the ranting and the commentary community.
yeah. Not to mention the second that Alduin video and I saw the hate, I was like, oh, well, time to bounce. Because basically, you might not have known this, because basically Sprite was kind of labeled as the big, gigantic white knight. But basically, me and Draco, we were like, yeah, we're not talking about this. Like, Sprite was talking about the drama and you know, making rants about it. While me and Draco were just like, alright, Draco, it's time for us to just live our quiet lives and pretend like this doesn't exist and we're not a part of it. Like, basically, I was scared because, unfortunately, my channel has gotten attacked before, twice actually, by some hackers and the other time by some random dislike bombers. So I was terrified of what they would have done if they got hold of my channel, like the people who clearly didn't like us because they labeled us as white knights, but not me and Draco really, because we didn't really like do any videos or interact with any ranters. Sure, I interacted with Ghosty and it was a kind of a bad interaction, but we're cool now, so it doesn't really matter.
Interesting. I thought that your interaction with Ghosty actually went well, according to him.
Wait, really? You mean, wait, are we talking about our first interaction or our now interaction?
The first interaction when it came to Melody.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it went pretty decently. Sure, I ended up blocking him at the end, but it's not because I really, but that was because of Sprite's influence, if you didn't know. And unfortunately, by that time, I actually despised Ghosty, unfortunately. Like, I hated everything about him. I unfortunately said a lot of mean things about him behind his back because I had this mindset that this guy was nothing more than a manipulator. Well, at least that's what Sprite told me, which is why I didn't really like him. Luckily, I know that that's not the case, and he's actually a really cool guy. And I hope he finds it in the heart to forgive Sprite, because Sprite was unfortunately in the same situation as me and Draco, but way worse.
So you took information from an external source, instead of just trying to seek it to yourself.
Yeah, like when I told Sprite I was talking to Ghosty, like Sprite's like, no, block him right now, block him now. That guy records people and so many other things, and I'm like, wait, he does what now? And I'm like, so basically ever since then I just instantly blocked him after trying to delete all my screenshots, which we both know that didn't work because he had the screenshots, which made me even more angry because that kind of proved that he was using things without my permission, which kind of painted the whole manipulator philosophy in my mind. But at the same time, I kind of should have saw it coming because he's a ranter and he kind of needs evidence, so I'm not that mad at him anymore. Well, but I still feel like he should have asked my permission.
Well, it is true that, like, this was Ghosty, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghosty has like this mentality of apparently taking screenshots and then presenting them into the public, despite the fact that it needs to be directly to the two individuals that is having the conversation and keeping it in private. I mean, after all, it's a private conversation. I don't know if you know this, but he recently did this to Spocter,
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw the video.
Yeah, yeah. So he has this mentality where, like, if something like looks very iffy or strange or odd to him, and then he just presents it on the public, and it kind of makes me worried. Is like, yeah, I can't really trust you, Ghosty. I still have quite bit of a problem with you, not as not as a person, but as your actions.
Yeah. But don't worry, I fully trust Ghosty now. Like, it's okay that you don't, but I'm just saying that now I've completely changed my mentality on Ghosty. Also, apparently, while I was hating Ghosty, I was convincing Sonic93 to not trust him as well, because, you know, Sprite kind of gave me the mentality that he's a manipulator.
Wow.
And, yeah. And apparently, Ghosty was risking his job to talk to Sonic93, which made me now feel really bad because he could have gotten fired.
Well, I don't know about that, but I always thought that the conversation between Ghosty and Sonic93 in the comic session was the reason why Sonic93 didn't trust Ghosty at all.
Nah, it was more like well, actually, I don't know where their conversation was, but all I know is that Sonic93 told me that she was, like, Ghosty was trying to talk to her.
Well, he did in the beginning. However, it didn't went well.
Maybe that was because I was kind of influencing her to not talk to Ghosty. I don't know. I honestly don't remember because it's been like months since that, so I can't really certify that it was my influence or not, but there's a chance that it was.
Well, this was during the Melodysugarplum drama. So...
Okay, I think... Wait, hold on. During the Melodysugarplum drama. Okay, I think there's a very high chance it was my influence. Because I talked to Ghosty during that also time period, and, like, I think.
It's a possibility, but of course, the conversation between Ghosty and Sonic93 didn't actually go well, because, to be honest, looking at both of their actions, it seems that both of them didn't handle the situation. It was Ghosty's fault for acting immature, and it was also Sonic93's fault for not taking this too seriously.
Yeah, like, another thing that made me really angry at Ghosty is because, like sure, he was doing it for laughs, but at the time when I blocked him, he went onto my channel and he said, thanks for the...
Oh my goodness.
Hello?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Whoa, well, that disconnected me for a little bit. Yeah, I disconnected the part where you, where did I disconnect it? It was the part where
I was saying I was angry at Ghosty?
The part where you, something about spilling beans and, like, thanks for the information, sucker? Something like that?
Yeah, that's what not Sprite, what Ghosty said. Ghosty said, thanks for the... He commented onto my YouTube channel and he said, thanks for the information, sucker. And then I was getting Fs spammed in my chat, and, well, not really spammed, but basically, like, a couple of people said F, and then I asked them why are they saying F, and then they said ask Ghosty, and I got really angry. Then I blocked Ghosty on YouTube too, and deleted his comment. But I unblocked him now.
Okay. Of course, Ghosty can be I just found out that he's a sassy person. But even, like, sassiness can only get you so far. But hey, his behavior, not mine. So, after that, it seems that, were you, like, kind of skeptical about the entire thing after the Alduin video?
Well, I've been technically skeptical about this entire thing since the very beginning. Because ever since the day me and Sonic93 met, and I asked her side of the story, I always kept asking her over and over again, like, what, like, man, I wish I could, well, I basically keep saying, like, man, I wish I could hear Amy's side of the story, and, like, Sonic93's, like, immediately trying to get that idea out of my head, like, saying how, no, don't do that, she's just gonna say what everyone else is saying, and, like, how I'm a terrible person and that I can't be trusted, and stuff like that. So and she did that over and over and over again. Like, every single time when I even mention Amy, or in her case, Bitch Chan, because she keeps calling her that.
Yes, I know.
Every single time she's mentioned, she always tried to get that idea, like tried to make me object to doing that over and over and over again. And the worst part is like even when I was like mentioning how like giving Dumbsville the benefit of the doubt, like basically saying how like I know Dumbsville wasn't trying to hurt you or stuff like that. She was always like, look, we get it. Dumbsville is your senpai or stuff like that. But you have to remember what he's doing isn't right. And I'm like,
what was he doing?
Like basically in her mind, Dumbsville was just painting her as a bad person. And also apparently, I did not notice this, but apparently in her Dumbsville video, she was lying a lot.
Apparently when it came to the Dumbsville video, you were supposed to collab with that video with her.
Yeah.
But then that never happened because you disparted.
Oh no, that didn't happen because we stopped being friends. I disagreed to it like for like a while we were still friends. Like, and like the worst part is like Dumbsville came to me and was warning me, saying how, dude, you probably shouldn't do this. Like, you're probably gonna get a crud ton of hate. And I was like getting scared now because I have my kind of PTSD of getting, you know, in situations with my channel that almost took me down in a way. So basically, like I was actually scared, and I told Sign93, and Sign93 got super angry at Dumbsville, basically painting him as a manipulator for trying to make me not want to be in her video. And even though she was like begging me, like telling me to join the video, like how much she needs me because, you know, she doesn't watch Dumbsville's videos, like I still objected because I was too scared. And honestly, I'm happy I objected, because who would have known what could have happened to my channel if I actually agreed?
Well, I'm glad that you didn't do it, but I think that the lesson here is not to take external material from other sources, other than the main source itself.
Yeah. Also, by the way, remember when I said that Sign93 was lying?
Yes.
Well, she basically stated at her, like somewhere in her video, that she didn't want to paint Dumbsville as a bad person. That entire sentence was a huge, gigantic lie, because the only reason she needed me in the first place was to take screenshots of me and Dumbsville's conversation to make him look bad, or look into Dumbsville's videos to try to find some of his jokes and try to paint him as a bad guy, because Dumbsville's kind of known for his dark humor, and basically Sign93 was kind of making... Hold on a second. Sorry, dude. My parents demand piano practice, so I have to end the call. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, I'm here to tell you, it's fucking gay!
So, the whole reason Sonic93 needed me so badly for her video on Dumbsville was because I actually watched Dumbsville. So basically she needed me to make up false accusations on Dumbsville as a person, and basically use Dumbsville's dark humor to make him into a horrible person. And at the time, she kind of brainwashed me in a way to make me think that Dumbsville's humor equals that he's a terrible person. Because unfortunately, like, Dumbsville's old Discord server, like, there was kind of, like, one of his Discord calls were KK, which I'm black, and Sign93 is black, and, yeah. Like, I know it's Dumbsville's form of humor, so I should have normally, I normally wasn't caring, and normally didn't care, but because Sign93 was giving me the impression that Dumbsville is secretly a bad person, I kind of care a little bit too much. I didn't interacting with him, so pretty much, like, it took I go open to Dumbsville on I didn't tell him about the whole KKK thing, but basically I asked him for forgiveness for kind of gaining his trust and then kind of backstabbing him, because I took screenshots of our private conversations and sent it to Sign93 to paint Dumbsville as a manipulator. And luckily, Dumbsville, he forgave me, and we're still friends. Thank God.
So she... Okay, so let me put this together. She wanted you to collect information on Dumbsville.
Yeah, pretty much. Like basically the whole rumor of, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I'm the connection to the whole finding information on Dumbsville fake information in a way. Like when I was rewatching your video on Jane, or your video when you're talking about Jane, basically I remembered you mentioning something about well, I'm not sure if it was your Jane video, but basically I remember you pulling up a clip where Dumbsville says something about fake information and the whole making video on her. She was planning this the entire time. Half of that is kind of true. You see, the information was technically not fake. It was kind of fake. It was honestly just making something normally funny just terrible. And the whole planning this entire time was also kind of true. You see, the whole plan began when I was taking my vacation in Florida. And that's basically where the whole plan began. We were all planning on making videos on Dumbsville ever since that day. So technically this entire time kind of adds up in a way.
Well, I see where you're trying to get that, but the clip that I showed on Sonic3's response was the information, the small clip of, well, that I don't want to say because again it's kind of like a private information between me and Dumbsville, and it'll be rude for me.
I understand.
Yeah, that part is something else. The part that you're talking about, which is the Sonic3 trying to dig up fake information about Dumbsville, turned out to be false. It wasn't actually her, but you're telling me that she sent you to dig up fake information on Dumbsville. Yep. Wow. Apparently my theory was correct, but at the same time, now that the truth came along, Sonic3 told you that that to take fake information from Dumbsville, and then try to use that on her as an advantage.
Pretty much. She basically tried to make Dumbsville's normal comedy or anything really about Dumbsville and trying to make it basically he was taking Dumbsville's info on his videos and making it fake. So pretty much, yeah.
And that's pretty strange, because then what was the call from December that something about well, apparently there was a call. I don't know if you know this, Mene the Mene, but there was a call between Dumbsville, Sonic3, and Creepy. Creepy was with Dumbsville, and Sonic3 answered the call by herself. And there were two...
Oh, yeah, she told me something about this, but she didn't give me any context. The only thing she did say was that she tried to talk to Dumbsville, and apparently some other guy was there, and they were both basically bullying or making fun of her, and or basically something about them two ganging up on her, and she just left. Pretty much, that's what she told me. She didn't tell me who the person was. She just said that it was Dumbsville and someone. I kind of forgot about that.
It was Creepy. The one...
I don't know who that is, but...
Me neither.
May God bless their souls.
I never heard of this person named Creepy, but apparently this person was in the call with Dumbsville. There were also two more companions with them, but they were kind of just on the side, basically just to make sure everything is going well and nothing too chaotic can happen.
Okay.
So in the people in the party, it was Sonic3 herself, Dumbsville, Creepy, Hunter, and I forgot who was the last one.
Okay.
And so what happened is that the call happened, so just to clear up some misinformation about the fake information about it, so Sonic3 confronted Dumbsville, or Creepy in this case, or both of them, actually, it was Creepy who was the one who pulled Sonic3 into a call while Dumbsville was being all nervous during that. So they all three of them talked. They talked it out, the part where Sonic3 was taking fake information. Something about Dumbsville and another person that was, how do you say, something about exposure. But apparently there was some miscommunication about that, and they resolved the problem. So basically, the whole point of the private call was to clear up some things. So the fake information and the miscommunication about the exposure thing. Unfortunately, this private call was I'm guessing it was supposed to be a video, but it was a video that never got released into YouTube platform. Just to explain like some of the things. Of course, that's where I came in and took the big revolutionary step and asked Dumbsville for an interview and explain him and I guess I wanted to ask him some questions regarding on the fake information that Cyanide 3 was apparently taking from him, because he just believed this at face value without like actually fact checking. And also,
I can't really blame him.
It just like, but he was in an emotional state when this happened, so he was like very vulnerable. He wasn't thinking straight.
Yeah.
So pretty much he was basically taking this information by like a weak stance, like his guard wasn't up. But then now I'm talking to you, and you're telling me this new information that it wasn't Cyanide 3 who was taking fake information. It wasn't her specifically. She told you to take information from Dumbsville to make him look bad, correct?
Yep.
Why?
Honestly, the reason she did that is because they basically, like, the reason why they were able to convince me to do this, because I was like against it. I was saying like how like the first time like basically she asked me to get like a screenshot of the conversation, and I was like, wait, isn't this like bad? Like, isn't this like a private conversation? Isn't like using DMs messages bad? And they were like, look, Ghosty did the exact same thing to you, so it's only fair that you do that to them. And I was like, and unfortunately that logic at the time actually convinced me into doing it. And I felt ridiculously bad after I did it, because like I just felt like I just destroyed my trust with Dumbsville, and like I just felt so bad when I did it. Also, apparently, like Cyanide 3 wanted me to screen record like moments of Dumbsville that would make him look like a terrible person. Like, there's this one rant on the Gotchaverse. Like, he made a Gotchaverse rant where he made a joke about like crushing a kid's skull or something like that, and pretty much I screen recorded that and was gonna send it to Cyanide 3 as evidence and stuff like that.
And even if you did, people are still going to check it out because they're clearly if you just did it, to be honest, I'm glad that you didn't do that, because then that will be taken out of context, and then that will force Cyanide 3 to post the link into the actual video where did you get this clip, and people will look at it. And of course,
and understand the full context.
Yes, and then a person like me will look at the entire video and just find that specific clip, and then it was like, oh, look at that, missing context. It's like, yeah, there's something right there. It kind of makes you look bad.
Yeah, I also got into like a semi-confrontation with Alduin in a way. Like, basically, you might not have known this, but Cyanide 3 yelled at me 3 times in total. The first time was for talking to Alduin, because I didn't ask her for permission.
Okay. Why do you need permission from Cyanide 3 to talk to someone?
Because, according to her, it's untrustworthy, I think.
Untrustworthy? Just by talking to another person?
Apparently, if you talk to someone she doesn't like.
That seems very odd. That seems like
that's why she got mad at me the third time for talking to BoxOvFox.
And what was the last time?
Oh, that was the last time. The second time she yelled at me was because I was telling her she should probably quit doing the Dumbsville video. But unfortunately, she yelled at me, calling me disrespectful.
Okay, so let's just put this let this be in display for a second. So she prevented you. Well, she got mad at you for talking to Alduin. This was in the beginning. The second time she got mad at you for you giving
telling her to not do the Dumbsville video, because like
basically recommending her not to do the Dumbsville. Well, you did tell her to not do the Dumbsville video.
Yep.
Oh my god, video. And the last time was when you talked to BoxOvFox, and I'm guessing this is the part where like she dramatically, aggressively screamed at you.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the reason she got mad is because me and Draco were talking to BoxOvFox about how she dislikes / hates Blaze, and unfortunately I added Super Sprite into the call. Super Sprite was typing aggressively. I heard it, and I was thinking maybe he was telling Sonic 93. He did, and she yelled at me, and Draco was too scared to say a word, so I was just trying to calm her down. It didn't work, and then it ended up with us blocking her and joining Ghost.exe server.
Apparently, there was like if I remember, there was a conversation between you, BoxOvFox, Super Sprite, and I believe it was someone named Nitro, correct?
Yeah, they were there.
In the party, what were you talking about?
Well, in the call, like, we were just talking about, like, Sprite was just defending Sonic 93 while me and Box were, like, questioning, like, all the things that are happening. We even asked him why because I found out this information through Ghost.exe server and the admins and people there that he, quote unquote, stated he was afraid of Ruth or Sonic 93. And I was like, wait, really? Because he never told me about this ever. I was just shocked. And then me and BoxOvFox, I don't remember who asked, but basically one of us asked him why. And according to him, he was lying. But actuality, that was a lie within a lie. Basically, he only said that because he didn't at the time didn't want to lose Sonic as a friend. So basically, he was telling the truth. He was scared of her, but he was denying that he was.
A section from that is that he was lying about like him being
not afraid.
But in BoxOvFox's video, I think it was Jarn in BoxOvFox's video, is that he was actually telling the truth, but the thing is that he was lying from that. But then after I spoke to him, he was lying about basically lying. He was doing all of this in fear. And that is the most common hypothetical thing I can come up with.
Yeah.
So,
not to mention, I know he was truly scared because one day he came to me and he just broke down. Like, he just broke down. Like, he was crying. He was in such he was so scared. He was so sad. He was telling me how much he doesn't want to lose Sonic 93 as a friend, and that he wants to apologize to everyone how sorry he was, but he know that he'll never be able to apologize to Ghosty because, blocked, banned, never coming back. Nope. And even though I told the people in Ghost.exe server that he's changed for the better and lost contact with Sonic 93, they still kind of hate him, and I don't really blame them, but at the same time, I can't relate to them.
Well, I mean, it's their choice if they don't want to accept his forgiveness.
Yeah, I know.
It's well, he did like start Haraya, and like, okay, let's be honest, he did something illegal, which basically he was recording people without their consent. So yeah, there's a good reason why they may or may not trust him.
Yeah.
So back to Sonic 93.
Sure.
Apparently you were supposed to be the next spokesman of her Dumbsville video. But then you left the party after that, and I'm guessing that she had to like improvise and try to do the entire thing by herself, and I guess that's the reason why it took so long for her to respond. Also,
another funny snippet is that she removed every single form of evidence I gave her just because we're no longer friends, which I just find that funny.
Well,
because absolutely none of the evidence that I gave her she used in the video, which I was honestly shocked because I'm like, wow.
Well, I think I may have something to do with that, but I highly doubt it was me.
Wait, really?
Well, the thing is that I had a debate on Sonic 3 and the reason why she should not do the Dumbsville video. I said exactly what I think that what's going to happen, and basically at the end I was right. It did happen. It wasn't really prediction. It's kind of like I already know what's gonna happen. So me and her had this little debate, and basically I told her what's basically gonna happen, what is she doing wrong, why I think that I recommend you not to do the Dumbsville video. And of course after that she never responded to me ever again. And
did she block you?
No, apparently not, but there is a bot that keeps telling me that I'm not in the same server, or possibly I could be blocked. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you got blocked, dude. Sorry.
I try asking. I try to ask someone else. I try asking my friend Wildpawz, and to see if she can contact her, but apparently she couldn't. She could not too.
Yeah, she also got blocked.
I wonder why.
Honestly, Sonic 93 just has this habit of blocking people who don't agree with her. Like, she blocked Draco for leaving her, apparently, and called him, like, a lot of mean names. And also, according to Super Sprite, he stated that she didn't like Draco that much, even when they were still friends. Like, she was talking mad crap about him behind his back, saying how much he's obsessed with Blaze and stuff like that. And it's odd because, like, Draco's such a nice guy. Like, and the worst part is, like, she's making fun of him for being sensitive, even though she should know. Like, she's pretending like she didn't know that he's sensitive, even though she knew Draco for over 6 years. Like, out of everyone, she should be the one to know that he's a sensitive person, and yet he's treating her like garbage just because, according to her, I have more balls than him, in a way. Because, like, the reason why she didn't call me a pussy something bitch is because I went back to her after I blocked her. I was trying to sort things out, but at the end of the conversation, she blocked me.
And what did you two talk about? Or well, the conversation is obviously about redemption, but how did you try to redeem?
Well, basically, I wasn't trying to redeem myself. I was just trying to see if she was sorry, because basically the first time she yelled at me, she burst into tears, crying, saying how sorry she was. And I was shocked because I'd never seen her cry before. Ever. And so basically I asked her in a kind, gentle manner if she was sorry for what she's done, for yelling at me. And all she did was laugh. All she did was laugh, saying how they got me really good, and saying how, do you really think that I want to yell at you because I'm mad, because I want to yell at you? And then she said, I have nothing to be sorry for. And then that was the end of that conversation.
Wow.
And basically, like, she left a comment telling me to take care in school, and before I even got the chance to say thank you, I got the exact same message you got. Like, you know the bot thing where you've been blocked by the recipient? Yeah, that's the exact same thing I got. And I knew she blocked me because my Wi-Fi had full bars, and I was able to talk to everyone else. So, yeah, she blocked you and me.
That's pretty sad, because I do want to have a conversation with her. I don't want either of us to have remorse, because I believe that she misinterpreted my Dumbsville video, my interview video with Dumbsville, and it's very clear that I wanted to sort things out. But of course, both of us were having a debate. I told her what exactly was going to happen, and it happened. And I wanted like to talk to her before I make my response video to Dumbsville. But of course, she wasn't like taking any messages anymore, so I was forced to make the video anyway without her perspective. So in case if she ever like decides to question my actions of why you didn't come to me when on the response of Dumbsville, is like, yeah, you weren't taking any messages. Either I was blocked or I wasn't in the same server. So yeah, I couldn't contact you in any physical way. So I do want to make things up for her, because she is the first person that I ever talked to on Discord. It's kind of, you know, sad.
Yeah.
So after all of that, you basically left Sonic 93, and what did you do in the aftermath of that?
Well, pretty much after that, like basically BoxOvFox, or was it Nitro? I don't know, but basically one of them offered a link to Ghosty's server. Draco went in, and when I went in, I was scared because basically I remembered like how much I hated Ghosty and stuff, and like I was expecting him to kind of hate me too, but pretty much he was perfectly fine, and he didn't see me doing anything wrong. Which I felt like I did something horrible, which was odd. But basically, like when I joined Ghosty's server and Nitro server, everyone was really kind, and everybody was talking to me and basically asking my perspective, and I was telling them how Sonic 93 yelled at me 3 times, how she and how Sprite and I kind of did some things we kind of regret, and how pretty much Sonic 93 had grudges towards people, especially Dumbsville and Alduin.
Well, Alduin I can understand, because, you know, mean-spirited can take you so far. But
Alduin did some things like got me and Aqua kind of upset. Aqua's a friend of mine, so basically, remember when I said I talked to Alduin, which was the first thing that got me and which got Sonic 93 mad at me the first time? Yeah, Alduin blocked me. Basically, the reason she blocked me because apparently I was harassing her and I was annoying. Like, basically, if you didn't know, she's in college and I'm in high school. When my high school finishes, I forgot that it's not the same time her school finishes. So pretty much I was ignoring her in a way, and I unfortunately kind of didn't realize it. And the worst part is, the last message she sent me was her, like, laughing and joking around with me. But when I tried to talk to her, I got blocked. Which I got confused, because I'm like, why did you block me? Like, honestly, like, according to Aqua, she stated that all she had to do was say, I was busy, or, like, I know she said, don't talk to me, I'm in college, and I immediately stopped talking to her, but, like, and I did forget that her schedule, like, the time that her college ends is at 5 p.m., and mine ends at 3, so I do blame myself, but the way she kind of handled the situation was so bad, and I got so scared because, like, I thought Alduin was going to make a video on me saying, one of Sonic 93's White Knights harassed me, or something like that. And the worst part is, I gave Alduin a link to my channel, which would make this situation 20 times worse.
And how so?
Well, like, she could show screenshots of what my channel looked like. Because during the trauma, I was a ghost. I wasn't interacting with anybody. I wasn't making videos about this. I wasn't interacting with any ranters. But if somebody posted what my channel looked like, who knows what could have happened?
Well, I guess, like I said before, Alduin is not like, you know, she's not a perfect person. We all know that, you know.
Nobody's perfect.
Exactly, and those who think who's perfect are basically lying to themselves. Just like how people, just like how people say that life is great, but it's not. But that doesn't mean life is bad either. Life is life.
Yeah.
It was never intended to be good or bad. Life is life.
Yeah.
So, from that, I guess that from the Alduin's case, how did what was I gonna say? But how did you said you were a friend with Dumbsville, correct?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that, did he ever try to, you know, get into contact with you, or did he ever knew that you were friends with Sonic 93?
Yeah, he kind of. I'm pretty sure he could possibly find out. Like, there's no way he couldn't have found out, because Sonic 93 was me contacting with Sonic 93 was the whole reason I was able to get in contact with Dumbsville on Discord. Because when I first met Sonic 93, and I asked her for Dumbsville's Discord because I knew they were friends, she gave it to me. But there's still a chance he might not have known. So that's why I'd mentioned Sonic 93 to him before. So I'm pretty sure he knows now.
Okay.
Well, at least knew back then. Also, by the way, if you're wondering, me and Alduin are cool now, and she unblocked me.
I was gonna say something about that. It's like, are you and Alduin still like, conflict?
Nah, I didn't hate Alduin for kind of blocking me, and we're kind of cool now. We're both JoJo fans, and we get along pretty decently when we actually interact.
Okay.
I understand that she got annoyed, but she could have expressed the way she was annoyed a little bit better, or a little bit nicer.
Yeah, that is the consequences of being mean-spirited.
But hey, I honestly don't hold grudges.
Neither do I. Of course, it's not the first time that went. Well, I believe that something so on and so forth. Yeah, Sonic3 does scream at people a lot. I didn't find it as screaming. I find it kind of like raising her voice. That's what I find it. I mean, everybody else say like she's screaming. I say she's raising her voice.
Honestly, when she yelled at me, it was definitely screaming.
Yeah. Well, she did yell at me, but I kind of considered it as raising her voice.
Okay.
If you cannot tell, I'm actually quite oblivious and malevolent.
I couldn't tell.
It's gonna. But me and her have her conversation. She basically tried to keep her cool, and then every time I speak, she's always calm. But then when it comes to, let's just say, a different opinion, it's she does raises her voice. But of course, it doesn't really offend me or in any possible way. I try to keep the conversation in the normal level.
Oh, cool.
And
you see, if I was in your situation, I would have booked it. I would have left.
I didn't. I basically just, floating in this case. I just basically just float while she just, apparently screaming at the top of her lungs, even though I consider that as basically amplifying her voice. Boy. But of course, I kind of see why people would leave the conversation or probably get mad at her for doing something. After all, I mean, I did look at two sides and then form my own conclusion.
Yeah.
And I still want to get her side because I still have questions to ask her, but she is no longer accepting that. So
yeah, even when my friend Aqua was trying to get her side of the story, at the end of the day, 993 ended their friendship for reasons I still don't fully understand.
You don't fully understand, or you don't fully know?
No, I know. I just don't fully understand her reason. She
Okay.
basically stated something about how, like, according to Aqua, it had something to do with Sprite. I honestly, I don't remember, so I don't know or understand, but basically it was a stupid reason and Aqua got upset.
Well, a mystery that we'll never know. So, I'm guessing that now that we came to that, I guess I have to ask you, do you hate Sonic3?
No. Even though what she's done to me was absolutely heartless, in a way, she has such a huge impact on me that I just can't hate her. Like, because she's also the first person I've ever talked to on Discord. And she was, like, a really close friend to me. Like, even though she's done things that have been, like, considered terrible and bad, I still don't see her as a terrible person. I just see her as a person who makes mistakes and won't accept that she does.
Well, now that we sorted that out. So, now that we talked about the beginning, the middle, and basically the aftermath, and of course your conclusion on herself as a person, I guess the one confusing thing that I do want to ask, what was it? Yeah, this is an interesting one. Did she mention like the people who like after the Alduin video, just for context, after the Alduin video, Wildpawz asked her to get her side of the story, and I agreed to it. And of course, as far as I know, I was the first one to get into contact with her. And of course, many other people did so, such as myself, Wildpawz, BoxOvFox, and so on and so forth. We talked for a bit, and then after that, I'm guessing, like, did she ever mention anybody that contacted her?
No, not a single one. Like honestly, she didn't mention anybody. Like all she kept saying was how people didn't want to hear her side of the story. And like, I was weirded out because when I rechecked some of her videos, I saw her heart some comments like from Wildpawz or BoxOvFox. And I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? Like then like a couple of videos started popping up saying how I got a call with Sonic 93, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, wait, what the heck's going on? She didn't tell me anything about this.
All right.
And, or maybe she did, but I don't remember. But basically, all I remember is that she didn't really mention people often. Heck, I'd never heard her talk about Wildpawz or BoxOvFox. I assumed the only reason she didn't want to talk to BoxOvFox was because she found out that she was making videos on her Yoshi We Won video, which, by the way, got her ridiculously angry.
And I'm guessing she didn't talk about Wildpawz because...
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, I'm guessing that since she didn't tell you, did she also... I'm very clear that she also didn't tell you that me and Wildpawz got on a call with her, correct?
Yep, she didn't tell me a single thing.
Wow. Okay. So basically, what happened is that me and Wildpawz, well, it was first Cyanide 3 and Wildpawz, but then I wanted to also get in the call with her and Wildpawz, and just to see in a different perspective of what's going to happen, because my experience can be very different from other people's experience. Like I said, I'm quite patient and benevolent. I don't get offended that easily, and I'm quite oblivious too. But I'm going to see how other people was being represented, right? And so the primary example was Wildpawz. So it was the three of us having a conversation. Now, me and Wildpawz obviously kind of talked about this a little bit, and in text, we talked in text. Is that we both agree that she was a bit aggressive on some in our conversation. She was a bit aggressive. So in the end of it, I did enjoy our conversation.
Also, by the way, like, there's also apparently she's like editing the truth in a way. Like, basically, when I asked Alexander, like Alexander's worldly voice, basically, like, honestly, hold on, let me see if I could find the conversation I had with him.
Alexander Worldly Voice. Oh, it's the person who like left a comment on my Q&A.
Yeah. So basically, he asked me how are things going, and I said it's going pretty bad actually. And he's like, so what's happening? Ask Sonic 93. And then he's like, and I'm like, and then he did, and then I'm like, what did you say? And he said, Draco and the Mene and me had a change of heart. Is that right? Like, so basically, Sonic 93 didn't tell Alexander that she yelled at me. She didn't tell Alexander how she treated both me and Draco. All she did was tell him that we had a change of heart and left her.
I'm guessing that she was kind of like keeping this to herself and not really revealing the truth.
Yeah.
How cunning of her. That's quite unexpected. Well,
yeah.
So now that that's all being cleared, I guess we can go on to the Q&A. Some questions I wrote down. Some questions that I wrote down for you.
Sure.
Okay, let's do this. Oh boy.
Here we go.
For the money, I'm a savage. Yeah. I be using like I had it. Yeah. I'm surrounded 20 brothers. Yeah. But they didn't know me last year. Yeah.
Okay, first question. What's your favorite color? You could choose three. You could choose three colors, but one primary, as in like, how do you say your primary color is like the most color out of your character. The secondary color is the least color that you use, and the third color is basically the color that one color you don't really like a lot, but you still want it.
Okay, my primary color is blue. The color that I use the least is dark gray, and dark gray is also the color that I don't really like to use, but I kind of need. But like, it's not black because I use black a lot in my stuff.
Okay. Next question. This is a This is one I want to get this out of the way, and this is a personal question. What do you think of my voice?
Your voice? Honestly, I think you could be a therapist with your voice, honestly.
People mistaken me as a psychologist.
Wow. I don't blame them.
It's kind of weird. It was like 2 or 3 people saying like, "Are you a psychologist?" I said, "No, I am not, but I do have some experience of a psychologist, but I'm not a licensed psychologist, so don't get any ideas that I can fix you."
Aw.
I mean, I can try in the very best way. I mean, I'm very good at it apparently, but
You're no professional, basically.
Yeah,
what you're trying to say.
I'm not licensed to like say like there's something wrong with you, so I can't really say like you're bipolar or you have depression or so on and so forth. You know, I cannot say things like that.
Yeah.
Just like how you know, it's like just like how I can't teach anybody anything. Like I can only make you think.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a very strange one I pulled out. If you were willing to buy a microphone, what brand would it be?
Honestly, I don't know, because I'm not really interested in brands of any type. Honestly, as long as it works, it'll suffice.
Okay. Here's another interesting question. If you're a console player, which console do you use?
I use Nintendo Switch.
Okay. I'm a PS4 person.
Ah, cool.
The PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Okay. Let's see. Question. Are you an artist? If you are, what do you draw?
Well, honestly, I kind of consider myself as an animator more than an artist. And sure, my first content on YouTube was me drawing. And apparently people want me to make more drawing videos. But honestly, the kind of things that I draw is kind of random. I just make my own stories with my own characters and then just animate them and voice over them. That's pretty much what I do. But I'm kind of creative with my stories in a way.
Okay. Creative. The type of person I like.
Thanks.
Let's see. Alright. Let's just say, here's the interesting one. Coffee or tea?
I'm going to have to pick tea, considering the fact I don't drink coffee, because I'm 15 and religious, and yeah, my parents are kind of against coffee in general.
For being religious?
Well, honestly, it's just more like the whole, you're not allowed to put certain things in your body, because your body's the temple of God, this situation, pretty much.
You Christian?
7-Day Adventist.
Ah. Alright, next question. What kind of soda brand do you like?
I'll take some Snapple.
Snapple?
Yeah, it's like a fruit juice brand.
Yeah, the Snapple is like an Apple brand that tastes like apple and soda.
Yeah, especially wait, hold on, give me 2 seconds. Especially, I think they have lemonade. I love their lemonade. Sure, it tastes kind of weird, but it's honestly quite good. And I also love their other drinks as well.
Have you ever, here in California, we have a Gatorade brand that tastes like cucumber.
Ew. Why would you want to drink that? Don't get me wrong, I like cucumbers, they taste pretty good, but, why would you want to drink something that tastes like cucumber? Isn't that kind of weird?
I mean, well, considering the fact that they put, a little dash of lemon, it kind of tastes fantastic. But it's kind of strange how they put it on a Gatorade brand.
Huh.
That's the weird part.
Yeah, that's kind of the last thing I was expecting that to be. I was expecting it to be like cucumber and lemon.
Cucumber on a Gatorade brand.
Who would have thought?
Next thing you know, they're gonna start putting gummy bears
or radishes in their drinks.
Or avocados.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about that. I cannot eat avocados without salt. Okay, what were you saying?
We have ice creams that taste like avocados here.
I'm sorry, what in the mother of what? I'm sorry, that kind of sounds a little bit illegal. Why in the world is... Oh, by the way, just in case you know, avocados are fruit, so why in the world is there a freaking ice cream that tastes like a fruit?
Oh no. Okay. Next question. What was the funniest thing that Sonic 3 told you?
The funniest thing. Well, this is a mixture of funny and creepy. Basically, like it wasn't really Sonic 93. I'm pretty sure Nani read it. Basically, me, Sonic 93, and Nani and a friend, we were all like, Sonic 93 was showing Nani some like messages of Amy-chan like talking to her boyfriend in like a creep, like in our eyes, because like I was kind of blindsided. I didn't know it was like them actually like loving each other as people and not being obsessed with each other, because that's kind of what Sonic 93 made me think it was. So basically, Nani was reading it, and we were all dying of tears. Like, we were all like laughing our heads off. Like, it was just a beautiful moment. Like, Nani wasn't being offensive, but it was still freaking beautiful. And it wasn't even Nani, it was her friend doing it, and it was so hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that man, he deserves Best Narrator of 2020 award, or 2019 when it actually happened.
Okay, here's an interesting one.
Yeah, but I might have to, like, rejoin you because I'm gonna have to eat dinner, so I'll be right back. Take 3.
Yep. Let's see. Here's a very strange one. If you ever had sleeping paralysis, what would you do? Aside from you can't move at all, but like, what would you think about if you had sleeping paralysis?
Honestly, I hope that never happened to me, and if I ever did, I would probably try my best not to sleep.
Okay, next question. In your thoughts, what do you mostly think about?
Honestly, I kind of just think of completely random things, which is how I make my series. Every single thing that happens in my series is just a random thought that I just randomly decided to just think about and make into my own story.
Do you have the same thinking as I do?
Oh, cool.
Interesting. Now, this is a serious question right here. Exactly. This is a serious question. I ain't gonna lie. If you ever thought that Ultra Instinct Shaggy is awesome.
Absolutely. Any Ultra Instinct version of a character is awesome, because it's freaking Ultra Instinct.
I don't need Ultra Instinct, I'm already overpowered. Alright, so, okay, here's another question. Sweaters or jackets?
Honestly, I'm not the type of person, I'm just the type of person who will just put on any random clothing, whether it looks good on me or not, and not really care. But depending on the circumstance, I would rather pick sweaters. Because, like, a jacket, well, actually, now I think about it, I take that back. I'd rather wear jackets, because whenever I put my jacket on, I never take it off. Like, ever. Like, even when it's blazing hot outside, I just don't take it off. The only reason I don't is because I'm kind of too lazy to, so I don't really want to. But when it comes to sweaters, I will immediately take that thing off. So I'd rather take jackets. Not to mention, I could go out in my jackets when it's raining, but I can't really go out when it's raining with a sweater.
Okay. Here's a really good question. What would you rather choose? Would you rather have all the money in the world, or you wish that all junk food is healthy?
Oh my god, that is such a, like, first it sounded like such an easy question, but now it's kind of hard, like, because honestly, I don't know, like, that's such a hard question to think about. Like, having all the money in the world means, like, I could live life carefree, like I could give money to charity, I could provide for my family, I could do whatever I want. But having all junk food be healthy means I can eat all the junk food that I want. No, you know what? I would rather pick all the money, because if I have the money, I'll be able to do way more things than just do one thing. Because with the junk food, you can only do one thing with it. Give it to someone or eat it. With money, you could do a lot more.
Okay. Excellent choice. Of course, the whole point of this question, there is no real answer.
Oh, so it's one of those questions that both answers are correct. It just depends on the person.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It doesn't really define the person who they are. It's just a random question that, I mean, Like, for real, like, how are you gonna get all the money in the world and make all junk food healthy?
Yeah, unless it's like lab made, but at the same time, we don't know if that's truly healthy.
Well, it kind of like in a magical sense, like actual, like you could eat pizza and you could gain muscle from it. Just imagine that. That's what I meant by healthy.
It's like that infinite pizza from Gravity Falls.
My goodness.
Like every single time when Zeus eats it, it just grows back.
Or the magical lemonade.
Wait, the magical lemonade? What's that?
Okay. So next question. This is a good one. Do you play Fortnite?
Nope.
Okay, good. You're not one of those people. Okay. Okay, here's a very good question, and this was actually recommended to my brother. If you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what was the first thing would you do?
Kill Thanos.
Are you too lazy to reach for the remote?
I don't watch TV anymore, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. If you can describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
I would say rando.
Rando.
No, rando.
Okay. In the commentary community, who do you watch?
Well, I have a list. I watch Nani, Dumbsville, you, Manga Common, and Just a Robot. And I used to watch Sonic 93, but we both know I can't do that anymore.
If someone would have called you weird, how would you react?
I would react kind of like, it depends on the person. If it's someone online, I'll be like, whatever. If it's one of my bullies at school, I would be offended. Because basically it depends on the mindset of the person. If it's someone online, they could see me as weird because of the things I do or the things I say. Whenever my bullies say it, it's usually just to get me upset.
All right, here's a personal question from me. What do you think of my OC?
Your OC looks really cool. And considering the fact you told me the list of abilities, I now think your OC is freaking terrifying.
Ah, come on, I'm not that bad.
My guy, you could warp reality, you're indestructible, and you could absorb damage. These are 3 statements that shouldn't be in the same sentence.
I mean, you really don't want to know what my base form can do. Yes, I have a base form.
Oh god, you have more forms?
Just 2 more questions.
Okie dokie.
What is the weirdest thing that Sonic 93 told you?
Well, the only other weird thing I could think of is those messages that she read in a creepy way, like between Amy Chan and her boyfriend. That's the only other weird thing I could possibly think of.
Eee.
But she sounded like a sick old lady when she said it too. It was creepy.
It sounds like a roach, like hitting your microphone or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. One more question.
Okie dokie.
Let's see. Okay. This is a personal question. If you ever wanted to have a family and you wanted to have kids, what would you name your son and daughter?
Wow, this is a really weird question considering the fact if I ever got married I wasn't going to have any kids, but I would name my son Zach and I would name my daughter Gabriel.
Okay. Well, okay. Random questions for the win. So, I guess that sums up everything. So, what are your final conclusions? Mene the Mene.
Me?
Yes.
Oh. Well, my final conclusions is that no matter what you go through, as long as you get support, you could always get through anything. Because basically during the drama when I stopped being friends, I thought I was going to lose all the support of everyone. But luckily that didn't happen, and I actually got support of many nice people. And I just have to say thank you for all the people who supported me. Including you, Disc.
Of course, I was not expecting, like, to have like 3 interviews from the other side.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting me and Semi-93 to stop being friends over a fictional cat.
Well, now that we summed up all of that, what are your final thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts is, well, to everyone. Dumbsville, Just a Robot, BoxOvFox, Nitro, MoonDisc, everyone in Ghost.exe server, Alduin, and hold on, who else am I forgetting? Did I mention Nani?
No.
Okay, Nani and everyone who's supported me this far, thank you. Thank you for all you've done. Because losing Sonic, and especially from Dumbsville, because I now know how he felt, because I was also inspired by Sonic 93 just for her to backstab him. It was heartbreaking, and I hope for the best for him. Also, another thing about Dumbsville that I didn't notice, because like when I first met Dumbsville's, well, not really meet, but like when I saw videos, I didn't know he was an introvert. Because I was always wondering why he denied every single time when I wanted to call him. But now I understand why, because when I first saw Dumbsville, I thought him as this cocky, super confident person. But apparently, now that I get to know through the drama, I now know he's actually an introvert, and he's not, and he's kind of a shy person. So yeah.
Glad to hear all of that.
And I hope he's doing well.
And now I have to say this in the very end. Please do not go and harass people mentioned in the video. I do not condone such actions, such as bullying and influence such a thing. So, tell me, Mene the Mene, how do you feel?
Well, honestly, I feel a lot better having to be able to share how I feel to someone without getting judged. Because, during the whole drama, I was kind of scared to talk. I was kind of scared to, send messages, because, I was fearful that people are going to be like, wait a second, that's the Side 93 White Knight, get him, or something like that. So I was kind of scared to, leave comments. So, I left a comment on BoxOvFox's video, and I immediately deleted it because I was scared that people would be like, it's the White Knight, kill him, or something like that. I know, everyone who makes a video on Sonic 93 says don't attack these people, but unfortunately, people just don't listen. So I wasn't going to take any chances.
Well, we do not have control over our audience, but it's the least that we can do.
Yeah.
My mama called, see you on TV.
I hope everyone has enjoyed the video. I would like to thank Mene the Mene for allowing me to do this interview with him. So, if you excuse me, I'm going to go back to sleep because it is almost 3 a.m. in the morning and I need some rest. So, I hope everyone has enjoyed the video. Please keep on shining.